So what I want to do today is create a sketch for my sectional boxes. This is your starting point. This is where I want you to work through some ideas about how you want your particular boxes to look. If they look plain and they look like you didn't spend any time on them, you will not get the grade that you want. So I'm looking for not only craftsmanship and not only following instructions, but I'm looking this time for creativity. I want you to be creative about the way you build this box. You'll notice in the presentation that you watched before, there were boxes that were very creative and really caught your eye, and then there are boxes that are kind of drab and uniform and not particularly anything great. So you want to do something that's unique and set apart in order to make the grade you want. So the way you're going to start is you just need to draw out a rectangle, long rectangle, because the piece of poster board that you're going to get to cut will be this particular shape. Now, let's say this is the bottom, and of course that would be the top. So the bottoms of the boxes need to be wide because they've got to support the weights. You can't do something ridiculous with, let's say, sometimes people students have created boxes and wanted them to do something like this. And you see, when you make a box that's that shape, when it's in 3 dimensions, it's not just a drawing anymore. What's going to happen right there? This particular part is going to be top heavy, and that box is just going to fall over. Okay, so while it would be very cool to have boxes that are shaped like that and one in the middle that fits together, and then this one does that, it comes out that particular length and mirrors the other one, while that would be very cool looking, it won't work because these bottom parts are much smaller and lighter weight than the top. So what happens then, of course, like I said before, is that will end up falling over. So you have to, your center of gravity has got to be enough to support the rest of the body. So let's flip over. Let's try this again. So you're going to start with long rectangle. And begin to draw. This is going to be split into 3 parts. You could lightly draw some lines here, and just in your mind you can have this separated out in such a way that it helps move through some ideas. So like I said before, you want a wide bottom on the boxes. A basic idea is maybe the one in the middle comes out and then over like a vase shape. This is just a very basic. Okay, so your middle box may be shaped like that. Well, then that means this outside box will be shaped like that. Okay, now that's very basic. Again, that's not super creative, but that gives you an idea of what we're thinking about. Now I showed you some images of other boxes from previous students, previous years, and I'll show you that again. but what you want is the boxes to be interesting to look at, so that should stir up your mind a little bit and help you to imagine. Getting started on the sectional boxes, and that's 3 boxes that you will make that fit together almost puzzle-like. You start with a template though. Remember, we used templates before when we make the lidded box, when we fold up the parts. This is going to be a little different because you're making 3 sections, and all you need for that will be 1 pre-cut piece of poster board, which I'm providing on my table, and we will use a strip, 1 long strip, to create the depth or width of the box. And that's all you need for right now. But what you're going to do and work on is taking your sketch that you've prepared beforehand and transferring it onto the template, and then cutting those pieces out from this particular template. It's already a certain height. It's about 10 inches tall, which means it will fit in your cubby. And let's see, I'm not even certain how long it is. It looks like it's probably about 15, 16 inches long, 10 inches high. This is how, when you set your boxes up, just like the examples I showed you, you set your boxes up, it will be this wide exactly, and then cut into the 3 parts. Okay, so building on the idea that you have your sketch, and now, as I've said before, you have your poster board where you'll make your template. What we want to do is transfer and think about this rectangle is now this rectangle. So what you would want to do is find the points where your box splits and mimic these shapes that you've already drawn out. So I have this vase shape comes out. I'm going to lightly sketch it. Don't commit to a heavy drawing until you feel like it's right. It's never good to just all out draw real hard with the point of a drawing tool. It's best to just sketch out until you feel like you have the image that you want. Then you can go back in and make a harder edge drawing, darker and darker, just like this. Okay, so that's the basic drawing that I have here. So all I need to do now is cut this template into the 3 parts.